We're going to get started today. Thank you all for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about our main topics are tax appeals. And we got Rick Mroczkowski that's going to kind of go over some of the changes in the county and how you guys can use your knowledge of the tax appeal process to gain more business and how they can help homeowners and clients and listings work on their taxes. After we're going to go over how to convert leads to appointments. So basically the sales process. The agent here is a salesperson. And if you're not setting a lot of appointments, you need to work on your sales training, and that's what we're going to talk about. And the second portion after we break for lunch in this Lunch and Learn. A couple of quick reminders before we get started. If you guys are struggling with staying on top of your workflow, but you're not quite there to hire an admin, we've got the transaction coordinator service that we've recently rolled out. If you have any questions, call the front desk and they can show you how to initiate a file to help you close it out, take care of all the paperwork for you, and go from there. Anything else that I'm... Nope, we got headshots every month now. We're offering for free in the office. Look out for our weekly or bi-weekly messaging, newsletters, internal office notifications about when those headshots are. If you guys aren't doing more social media marketing, if you're at a loss for additional content to push out to your sphere, and you're looking for more content, a headshot is the easiest and fastest and quickest reason. You can also reuse it over and over and over to pair up with additional content that we have that a headshot will pair well with. So please, if you're not updated, even if you've done it semi-recently or a couple of years ago, come and get a new one because it's great content to use again. And last and final, we have Ryan.cotter here, who is joining us just to say hi and to answer any questions that you guys may have in the finance, in the lending world. And Ryan, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. This is Ryan.cotter, the mortgage professional for the Pearson Realty Group. And today we're going to be talking about the real estate market. The reason why we're just touching on some good talking points is that there appears to be, out there with, especially with the media, obviously they make their money by promoting negativity. And one of the things that they're promoting a lot that I feel when I watch, CNBC or, any other, economic news outlet is that they're talking negative about the housing bubble and comparing 2006 and 7 to 2021. And I just want to, be the flip side and talk about some positives, right? And why those two timelines are vastly different. And so we're just going to jump in because there's some good talking points for, your clients, prospective clients, general conversations to have around the positivity associated with our current economic climate in specifically the housing sector. Okay. So let's jump into the next. All right. So as I mentioned, I see this a fair amount. I'm not sure if you're seeing this, but the negativity by the media beating their drums about a potential housing bubble. And like I said, I'm going to highlight a few of the differences that that we see right now. Okay, so from this chart, you can actually see between 2006 and 2021. Back in 2006, interest rates were above 6%. Right now, on average, We have everything is below 3%. So extremely affordable, still extremely affordable. Okay. Now, another statistic is that, from 2006 to 2021, on an average, incomes are up 55%. Okay. Now, in 2006 to 2021, we tend to see that this is an average, right? And the upper brackets, right? The upper income tend to be even higher, right? So the major wage earners, the people that are buying properties, their income is at least 55% increase from 2006. So when we kind of do a simple scenario comparing, the affordability factor with the increased income, it is just a perfect example on why affordability is still so high. Okay, so I'm showing a little example of 2006 and just using some generic numbers. If somebody bought a $300,000 property at 6%, their monthly payment would be $1,800. Okay, now 2021, where home prices, not income, has seen a 41% appreciation from 2006. This is what they're leveraging as their, this is why there's a bubble. But if we do the math, right, that 41% increase from a $300,000 purchase price equates to $423,000 with an interest rate of 3%, where we're at right now. The payment is less than what it was in 2006. On average, that income that we talked about being increased, this lower payment is a smaller percentage of their overall income today than back in 2006. Okay, so again, that's a positive, right? That's showing these naysayers that actually household income is going up and the debt equation has actually gone down in relationship to the total monthly income somebody would have today. Okay, another positive, okay, is that equities in people's houses. So the reason why there is a bubble, if we can make a joke about the mortgages out there, that people were, if you could fog up a mirror, you got a mortgage, right? And there wasn't a bunch of equity. People were getting in with low down payments. They were speculating. They were buying condos, thinking they were going to flip them. So they didn't have a lot of equity. Well, over the 2006 to 2021 timeframe, people stayed in their homes. They developed more equity, and they have that equity still sitting there. Right now, we see that equity is at its highest level that we've ever seen. Now, what does that mean? So, in 2006, when people didn't have equity and there was a pullback, there was a correction, they were underwater, right? They had to fail. They had to go into foreclosure, which basically continued the downward trend in the housing prices. Okay, people have equity. They don't have to go into foreclosure. They can sell their property and still walk away with a lot of money. Okay, so that is that's a positive. On top of it, the government has made it harder to get loans. Right, there's this thing called Dodd-Frank that came out after the housing bubble that made sure that people were able to qualify for the mortgages. There's no longer any no income verification loans. There's no bank statement loans. There are, but they're incredibly more detailed to make sure people can qualify for mortgages, and we don't have the repeat that we had in 2006. Okay. Oh, what happened? Oh, sorry. So again, I'm just trying to touch base on a couple of positive pieces that you can have with your clients, protect potential clients, to give them, hey, I'm going to wait for this housing correction because I want to get a good deal. Well, I'm not sure that they're going to have that correction that you see because the affordability factor is still incredibly optimistic. So if you have any questions or you'd like a copy of this presentation, please let me know. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ryan. Appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, if you guys, clients have questions, make sure to, Ryan's a great resource for, asking those questions, pre-approvals, figuring out before your clients start to look for a house, how much they can afford. Ryan's got a great worksheet that really helps them walk through and see, because there's a lot of inputs, right? Well, a $500,000 house, if I can afford it, is great, but if I'm buying a $500,000 condo, if the homeowners association dues are $1,000 a month, I can't afford that, right? And so there's the difference there, and a great worksheet that Ryan uses to help. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to reach out to Ryan. And thank you very much, Ryan. We really appreciate it.
Happy to help. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Ryan.
Thank you. All right, next up, we've got one of our agents at Pearson Group, Rick Mroczkowski, who is going to talk about the tax appeal process, what area of Cook County they're going over right now, how to use this to help you in your real estate business, and yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to hand this over to Rick.
Yeah, I've been doing property tax appeals for quite some time, and as a realtor, it really helps out my business because you're more knowledgeable than other realtors out there, and you can help them in their property taxes, and as a buyer or a seller. But along with me, I have Michael Borowiak, which is he's a licensed assessor, and he's been in the property tax appeal business for over 12 years. And I'll pass along the mic to him, and he'll tell you a little bit about the whole appeal process and how property taxes work in Cook County.
Yeah, my name is Michael Borowiak. I'm, like Rick said, licensed assessor. I'm Polish, came from Poland, so my accent may be a little funny, but knowledge is in place. So I came from Poland as electronic engineering. I did software development as well. I don't write the codes anymore. I create the formula to search for properties, specializing right now on a database of the Cook County and surrounding counties, Lake County, DuPage, Kane, and a few others. My license allows me to conduct this business in the entire state. However, I don't do too much in rural areas, mainly concentrating on the big cities. So Cook County, great county for doing this business. 2 million properties, around 67.5% of them are appealable, which means that they are errors, mistakes, not only in the assessing valuations, but also in the area of exemptions and different discounts, etc. So basically, we get a lot of work right now, especially in the Jefferson, especially in the townships located in Chicago. There is a lot of work. The new assessor, as you know, is having the tendency to raise everybody, and he doesn't really use the principles of assessing the properties. He's using the mainly comparing the properties, but it doesn't do the really good job. That's what I can say. I don't know how many people will listen to this, but from the TVs, from the radio stations, they confirming that people are hurt. So, so we are here to help the homeowners and the business owners, commercial property owners to help doing the better reassessment. Okay, that's what we do, is reassessing again, showing them the causes. As a licensed person, I have access to the Cook County database, so I'm using exactly the database that assessor is using to show the causes to reduce the assessed values. Rick is working with me for approximately 4 years. I'm doing this for 17 years. The system that we created, it's a proprietary system. and helps them. We working with the realtors as well. Mainly, we preparing the data, we're preparing the calculations for different attorneys, CPAs, whoever has clients, homeowners, and business owners. So Rick is the realtor. He's using successfully to in the process of selling the properties and purchasing. When he has a buyers, he's just going to to the system and searching for properties. If the property is appealable, and the system will show him immediately if it's appealable and if we can somehow save the client's money. So let me use the example. So I will show you in a real world how it works.
You can also put the address there if you want, but PIN numbers.
Yeah, the PIN numbers is the best, but also on this side you can use the address. Okay, so just give it like a few seconds. Okay, once it's stopped, you can go up, and you confirm with the clients that this is the search property. You get the information about the address, about the classifications, the things that we need, and this section is about what was going on last year. So the property was assessed for $54,000, which is $540,000 because they're doing 1 to 10. And this is the new value. So from 54, the new assessed value for 2021, assessor is proposing 74,000, which is in the market value 740,000. So this is the around $200,000 increase. Also, the system is showing you will not see it. I'm running this from the admin, but this is for us. We can see the comparable properties if they really similar. We're using sometimes there is two techniques. Sometimes we're comparing assessed value to assessed value, but most of the time we're comparing price per square footage to the price per square footage. So it's giving us the better evaluation. So those are 2-3 flats. We're comparing to 2-3 flats. We're comparing the properties based on the 15 different parameters, which is giving us approximately 97% of the success rates. Okay, the program that we run very successfully for the past 6 years is appealing, technique of appealing from a reassess period to reassess period. Cook County is using 3 years reassess period, so we assessing 3 times per year with the assessor level, board of review level, and property tax appeal level, 3 times a year for 3 years. So 9 appeals. We have to be successful. There's so many appeals. We create clients the great level of comfort, and the team is licensed assessor, and my colleague is he's an attorney. So I'm giving the representation for assessor level. He's giving his representation for board of review and for property tax appeal board. A lot of things in our company. I would say like 95% of the processes are done fully automatically. We just using one processor person to confirm that the processor of submissions are done correctly. The system is generating us a lot of reports. We want to make sure that the clients has a good trust to our work. Every time we do anything around the property, like we get results or we're preparing for a submission to appeal, the clients are receiving automatically emails with the results, with the letters, with a copy of the letters, and these processes are done fully automatically. Here is an example of, we have a profile on the Facebook. There is several thousand of properties that we successfully appealed. You can see those are the results of savings. Some of them are bigger, some of them higher, depends on the property. But like I said, when we're doing this 3 times a year for 3 years, very often we are able to bring the property back to the original value. So like, for example, like in the discussed case, the client had 443,000 market value, assessor is offering 740,000. After 3 years of 3 times a year appealing, we are probably will be able to bring him to approximately 570,000. So we will kill the increases. Sometimes it's doable, sometimes we need a little bit more time. So we're letting the clients know all the time where he's at. And at the first stage of appealing, like when there is a reassessment period, we're trying to stop the assessor. We're trying to stop him from increases. So if it's a 543 to 740, I see that probably we will level with him at the position of 610,000. Okay, and then when we have a new value set, then we're appealing lower. Okay, so very often we're using our other properties in the area to appeal the same property further. So more clients we have, it's better for everybody. The system is showing the calculations of the tax bills, so clients will, it's very predictable also that we can pretty clearly say how much the client will pay if he will not reduce anything. So for example, in this case, his assessed, his tax bill is an 11,500. If he will not appeal, his tax bill next year will be 16,000. So they have a decision to make. Also, what is important when there is a process of sale, like a rig does, the clients may complain on a level of taxes, on a property tax. So if the property will be checked with us, at least they will know that once they will buy it and appeal it, we will be able to next year to reduce it by this amount of money. So this is the useful tool to tell the clients, yes, right now it looks like you're paying, let's say, $14,000, but we will, during the appealing process, we'll bring it back to, for example, $9,000. So the system will tell them exactly what will be the goal. What did I open here? Oh, this is another example from this year. From $397,000, the assessor is looking for $670,000 right now. Okay, so those are huge increases. This will be probably around, I would say, 90% increase. That's a lot. The winners has this year 364% because we're scanning entire townships. Like approximately in Jefferson Township where we are at right now, the average increase would be around 57%. Very small percentage, like probably like half of the percent of the all properties are lowered. So there may be really bad condition, etc. So assessor decide lower. Mainly they are increased around 57%. Like I said, we have many cases with the 300% increases, even 364. If there is any questions about the processing, I will be more than happy to answer them right now.
Is this commercial and residential?
This doesn't do commercial because commercial properties, they have 7 different techniques of appealing.
Right.
So it will be kind of...
What about like a 6 unit?
6 units you can do it with the system. Yeah, 4, 5, 6 with this system. We are recommending the manual analysis, which is taking approximately 2-3 hours, and we get the client not the result, because results depends on the assessor or board, but we're giving them the answer if there is any chance, if they will have to prepare the money for additional appraisal, or we can use the data that we have on file.
Is your office
We do commercial appeals, we do manufacturing, gas stations, hotels, motels, this type of stuff, yeah.
Do you guys know where Jefferson Township is?
Yes, Jefferson Township is right there.
Yeah, it's a big
It's
township.
huge.
It incorporates many different areas. People think Jefferson Park, but it goes all the way to almost right there, like Cumberland Avenue. Okay. That's how far Jefferson Park goes. So Jefferson South. And how far south it goes to, I got the map.
South Fullerton. Yep, right there.
Big, it's north of Fullerton?
Not from Fullerton, yes.
We're south.
South of Fullerton, West Township, yeah.
West Township.
West.
West Township.
Yeah.
And then they reassess every 3 years in different areas. It's cut up to 3 different areas. It's Chicago, which is right now, they're doing a 3-year reassessment. And then next year is all the northern suburbs will be reassessed again. And then the south suburbs are reassessed the year after. So they alternate every year. So next year it'll be the north. After that it'll be the south. How many townships in Chicago?
Chicago has 5.
Five townships.
And Jefferson has 156,000 properties, which is almost 112,000 residential. So the rest of it is commercial, manufacturing, etc.
So what's after Jefferson?
Oh, that's a good question. I will show you the assessor calendar.
The calendar, yeah, show them the calendar. It's
Assessor-
you can go to cookcountyassessor.com and you can go on to appeals and then the assessment calendar's on there. And you can see when the assessor, board of review have their deadlines.
So I opened up a restaurant, and during the time of construction, we were never open. And there was nothing happening. And as of last month, I just got my taxes come in, and they skyrocketed.
Yeah,
So this is something I need to be looking into.
this is
Yes.
it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm in Jefferson.
Yes.
I'm 2341 North Narragansett. It's
Yes.
Narragansett and Fulton.
Yes. So just send us.
3 is South Fullerton.
You're in Jefferson Park though, right? Jefferson Township?
I'm in Belmont Craven, so I'm literally
Yeah, that's
on
Jefferson.
Fullerton.
Just Jefferson.
Okay.
Jefferson Township. Yeah, so here is the example of the assessor calendar.
This is just for Chicago.
This
Yeah.
year, assessor works differently. Usually give us the calendar for entire year, so we know in January what's happened until the December. This year, he decided to open one by one. So Jefferson will be closed tomorrow, and he already opened. Tomorrow will be open North Township, then South Lake, Lakeview, and Hyde Park. However, he may switch. Okay, so he is reserving the rights to switch. The first part is reassessing township in the reassessment period, and the bottom you can find the township that were reassessed last year and 2 years ago. So we start from River Forest. He was very late today. Usually they start January 15. This year he started April 21st.
Once it's closed for 3 years?
No. It's open every year, 3 times a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
3 times.
We
That's
we
what
can
it is.
conduct the business 3 times a year. We can conduct the
But once
appeals.
it's closed, you can't do your business there. until
Once
it
the
reopens.
assessor's closed, then you can always board a review.
Yeah, there is
So
the
you
next
can
level.
skip the next level. If you skip the assessor, it's better to do all 3, but if you skip the assessor, you can still go to board of review. And with the board of review, you need prerequisite to do PTAP, Professional Tax Appeal Board in Springfield, is to do board of review. So you can go, a lot of attorneys will go straight to board of review, they skip the assessor, they do board of review. But that's after the assessment period, assessor makes his designation 2 months after that usually. So if the deadline is September 17th, we won't find out whether he's increasing, he accepted your appeal or not by November 5th, 17th or so. And then the board of review gets there and you have 30 days to do board of review. So it's like I said, it's every 3 years. And then as a realtor, what I use, what helps me in, like, for example, listing presentation. You go to a client, and I always look it up before I go to a client. You can go into taxbillappeals.com and put in the address of where you're going to, right? And you'll see his exemptions. You can make sure that some of them don't have their homeowner, or say they're a senior. They don't have they don't take advantage of it. You could be like, you save them money that way also. You'd be like, oh, I noticed you don't have homeowner's exemption. How long have you owned your home? They're like, oh, I've owned it for 6 years. I forgot to do it. What we can do as well is get 4 years back of his exemption that he overpaid. So we get, say it's an exemption for homeowner exempt, it's like $800 to $1,200 anywhere. So say on average $1,000, we'll give a refund check to him for $4,000 for his, for homeowners. And that's, if he has senior, then that's on top of that. If he's a veteran, there's disability, there's various things that you can find out.
Senior starts at what age?
The what?
Senior starts at what age?
65. And senior starts at 65. And for senior freeze, you have to have a household income of less than $65,000 a year to qualify for senior freeze. So a lot of people don't take advantage of that as well. But that's how, as a realtor, you have this information. And other realtors don't know this. So you can go to the listing presentation and say, oh, I noticed that you don't have this, I'm going to help you with this. And on top of it, I noticed that you're overpaying your property tax by $5,000, say, a year. And then if you choose to list with me, what do I say? I'll pay for your appeal if you do that. So it'll cost you anywhere from $200 to $500 to do that. Or you can just say, I'll give it at the back end or at closing. But it's a tool to go, hey, go with me. I'm going to save you money. And on top of it, it's going to be, as an appeal, you're going to be able to market it in a better way. Be like, you can put in your remarks, I appealed this property and it should be this. Eventually. So buyers are more attracted to the property instead of they look at taxes a lot when they're looking at properties. A lot of my clients go, oh, I can only afford this much in taxes and this much in my mortgage. So to combine that, and that's what mortgage brokers do, is you tell them the taxes have to stay below this and your other amount has to stay below this, so for pre-approval. So we help them with that. Yeah. A senior freeze, it will lock in their, what do you think for a senior freeze, best explanation for it? They locks in their rate, so every time it goes up, they deduct sometimes thousands of dollars, $6,000. I've seen my last senior freeze I looked for a client was like $7,000 that they were actually deducting. The government was deducting, so they didn't have to pay $7,000. So their total payment was like $3,000 instead of, if they didn't have the senior freeze, it'd be $10,000.
Yeah, when the senior freeze is applied, the way it works, senior who is over 65 years old, plus in order to qualify, they have to, whoever lives in a household has to make less than $65,000. So then they qualify for a senior freeze. And what it does, seniors, they usually don't work too much anymore and they don't produce a lot of income. So assessor is freezing the assessed value, which is based to calculate the property taxes. And then when he is raising the assessed values, because he has to raise them, okay? So he's raising them, but the seniors are getting the credit for it. Every time the assessed value goes up, they're getting exactly amount of taxes back as a senior freeze. Okay, so seniors technically don't have to worry about paying more taxes. The only fluctuation is in the tax bill is because of there is a multiplication of assessed value by local tax rates and state equalization factor. So these things may go a little bit up, a little bit low, usually between 3 and 10%. And so if they will see, oh, my taxes went up, it's not because of the assessed value. It's because of the one of these two factors that I mentioned. Well, the definition is whoever is in a household. But in a real life, if there is grandfather and grandmother living in a house as a major homeowners, and then there is a son, they may not explicit the son. They may not talk about the son. Husband and wife, total income, if they file separately, adjusted gross income.
So do they both have to be 65 then?
No, one of them. Just one of them. And the rule is they have to be 65 on the previous year. Because we pay taxes right now for 2020, because we pay taxes for the money that we already used. We're just kind of like returning the money to the assessor wallet. And actually treasurer's wallet. And so 60, right now we're looking for people with the 66 years old to file for the previous year. No, you can't do that because the assessor will most likely take your application, put it on the site, and it will be lost. Yeah, it has to be within the within the open windows, and also there is another term when the board of review is open. They start the season from taking the homeowners applications and any time of exemptions. Yeah, and for people, because we have many clients that they have more than one properties, important message is that they can file appeal on every single property they own. Okay?
What's the difference between a senior exemption and a senior freeze? Now, I know what a senior freeze is, we know that. What's a senior exemption?
Senior exemptions, in order to qualify, you have to be only 65 years on the previous year. That's the only qualification. Senior freeze, it's an income.
Yeah, you get a credit depending on.
You-
It's like a
you-
homeowner's exemption.
It's like a homeowner's exemptions. You get because of the age.
10,000 versus 1,000, or?
What's the usual homeowner?
Homeowners could be around between $500 and $800. Yeah, and senior exemptions, then more reassessment they are alive, then the more credit they get. Yeah, I see sometimes we're trying not to appeal senior freezes, but if there is a small one like $300 and we see that we have a potential to save them $2,000, we unfreeze the property, file the appeal, and then once the assessed value is the lowest, it's a very good reason to put the freeze on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Once it's frozen, you don't have to go back and assess it again. It's just frozen.
Yeah.
Once it's frozen for good. However, the homeowner is supposed to look at the correspondence, because assessor is sending approximately 15% of the properties a message, to a letter to confirm that they are alive and they still own the property. Many people are moving to the different institutions, they dying, so the assessor is checking if they are still on the property and they still in this property.
And they also check on their income, right? Just to make sure they're not going over the threshold.
Yes,
of
they
65.
asking simply to fill out the application again. Yeah, the current assessor, he kind of promised when he take the chair that he will extend it automatically, but from my experience, he's still sending the letters to confirm. Yeah, so it's not a fully automatic. Yes,
Yes.
I will leave my cards here just for technical questions and processing questions, and business-wise, talk to Rick. We have 1,200 attorneys right now who use our services. We do basically calculations and submissions on their behalf. So they enjoying to talking to the clients and making sure that, and we make sure that everything is submitted and organized, that we get results on time, etc.
And then as a realtor, I also use this for my buyers too. Say a buyer's interested in a property, I have it in my phone and I go open the website and I pop in the address and they're like, oh, we're thinking about it, but the taxes are too high. I ask ask them, what do you like or don't like? Well, it's and I look right away and say, well, you could qualify for an appeal. They're like, oh, really? And I'm like, you could say your taxes should be this much. And it opens up that house that you normally wouldn't, that would be mixed. It's now open now. And I've sold a house like that and be like, okay, we'll put an offer on this one because you can appeal for us. I'm like, yeah. And then also what's a great way to connect with your previous clients is what better way to call them up, and we can do this for you as well, or you can do it on your own, is go through the taxbillappeals.com website, pop in any of your previous clients from the last 5 years or whatever you want, and you'll see your clients if they have homeowner exemption. Say they forgot to do it. You as a realtor, hey, I just want to let you know you don't have homeowners. Are you still living there, or are you renting it out? If you're renting it out, they're not going to qualify for homeowners exemption. But if they're living in the property, they should have homeowners exemption. So I always check homeowners. If they're a senior, I check for senior. And then if they're overpaying on their property taxes, what better way is to say, hi, I remember me, I sold your house 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I just want to let you know you're overpaying your property taxes. You need to appeal. and we could do it for you, or, you know, you can do it yourself. But also, while I'm on the phone with you, anything's changed with your situation? Are you looking to buy, sell in the near future? You have any relatives or friends that are looking for
Go
that?
on the system and take a look. And
Yes,
see what
it's open to everybody. So taxbillappeals.com, you can go in there and do it.
And that's the system.
Yes, it goes right into, and what's nice, it goes taxbillappeals.com. Yeah.
So I have some brokers that will go to listing appointments.
Mhm.
Other brokers go into that listing appointment. And they'll say, hey, you should appeal this house, and even though you sell it, I can get you some money back, right? That's great.
Yeah.
So if you're going to a listing appointment, you can say, hey, I can save you $6,000 on your taxes, even though we're going to sell your house.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, wow, this guy knows more than anybody else. I'll use you and let's appeal my taxes. And even though they don't own it, they can get a check on the appeal for the previous year.
Yeah. So that's it's very valuable.
Broker's commission too, instead of like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get a commission, but you get it back.
Yeah, it's different ways to do it, but incorporate this in as a tool. It's very, but retouching your old clientele, like how, you know, you send out emails or how often do you actually call your old client? And you have a reason to call them besides, hey, how you doing? You're telling them, I just looked over your property, just checked your exemptions, they're all good. Now, I noticed that you're overpaying by this dollar to the penny. They like that information. It's valuable information to them. And then they say they appeal the property. I've never appealed before. It's easy process. I can do it over the phone, get their credit. All you need is their credit card info, and that's it. They can, and then press of a button, and they're appealed.
So do we, when we log on and we want to appeal a property, do we put your name in?
You can put in as a promo code your name, and you can actually get a commission for doing it. Like say it's $500, you get 15.
Got all our names in
Yeah, you can put in a system. I'll show you where to put it in. Yeah, you can call me and I'll walk you through the process at the beginning. I can even 15% of the actual say cost of 500. It's like $455. You get 15% of that back to you.
So to do an appeal, it's $450.
Like $500, the 450. Say it's $450, and then there's attorney fee and then an electronic signature, which we don't take that commission. But out of the 15% out of 455. So you're making money, say you make $75, plus you're helping your client. And the most beneficial way is to touch your old clients, and then they'll give you, oh, my neighbor, he's looking about appealing his taxes. But that person that's looking to appeal, you have them in your database. You're going to talk to them about, retouch them every year for appeals. And then eventually you're going to sell or buy or something. But you're in front of them all the time. And what's a better way? Yeah, it's better than just, hey, how are you? How you doing? You know, they're not, or send out emails. They don't. But this is a way to keep in touch with your clients, and that's what I do. And I feel they find you as a expert, and they're like, oh, I need my taxes appealed again. Every 3 years, they're going to be reassessed. So you have these clients for the next 3 years. But as them as a real estate client, it's a very wealth of information to.
They should appeal every year.
They could appeal every year,
Right
but
now,
every
yes.
3 years is good.
$450 every year.
No, it's a one-time.
One time for like
one-time
3
fee.
years, and it's good for 3 years because they don't reassess for 3 years. So once we drop their taxes, they don't have to do that for 3 more years technically. But once that third year comes up, you got to appeal your taxes again. Call us up, and then you tell them it's the tax appeal time, and it's a no-brainer. So and I use this a lot. I do door knocking. Through tax bill appeals, I get a lot of business. For people, I want looking to buy or sell. I just door knocked over the weekend, and I had somebody, I need to sell my house, I'm going through a divorce, and, can you sell me on taxes? I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna look to sell. I'm like, well, lower your taxes, then we'll sell your house. How's that sound?
You do a little search before you knock on the door.
We have everything, like, we have these postcards that show exactly how much address is overpaying, and we have flyers that if somebody's interested, I can give them flyers as well. If they want a certain neighborhood, I can go, hey, these are your flyers with your name on there, and then you can just door knock. It's a way to grassroots effort to get.
Yeah, and the postcard, every
Yeah,
postcard
this is
has
a
a
postcard.
unique picture,
Has a picture of-
inserted
It is a picture of the
property.
property
Yeah.
and so forth.
Can we put our findings in here and have a postcard sent to them with our
With your You can,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, our database, we already have this postcard, so we mail these out, but as you can see, you can, you know, what better way is to do it yourself though? Make a phone call. You don't have to do postcard. Call them. You know, they know you're ready. They're going, oh, my realtor's calling. Why is he calling me?
And since we're working in a Cook County, there is a lot of immigrants, but they also the owners of the properties. The important message is that we are representing the property, not the homeowners, technically. So we don't really pay attention if they legally here. Many clients, they thinking, oh, I don't have a green card, but I own the 3 homes. We have cases like this every day. But will this wake up immigration or something? No, we don't work with immigration. We don't touch the legality. We don't really worry about it. We focus mainly on the property, and that's our subject. There is not even question about if somebody has social security number. We remember that before 2007, anyone could get the loan. And so there is many multi-level family homes, single-family homes in the hands of the people that until today they didn't get the green cards, but they homeowners, so we can appeal. They worry about it. Maybe you know I will open the gates and I will open the wrong doors. No, nobody pays attention to it. We focus only on the property values, and there is no questions about you know how you came to this country. It doesn't matter. Okay, so.
And then many people also appeal their taxes. I already appealed my taxes, this and that. They don't know. I can check. You can go to cookcountyassessor.com and see the history of your appeal. You can see if you got denied or accepted. But they only, if you do it yourself a lot of times, we know what the dollar amount that you need to, that your savings is. And a lot of people, say you're overpaying by $2,000, the government gives you $500. Oh, we'll lower it by $500. You think you won. You really didn't win. That's why using our service is better, because we keep on appealing until we get that dollar amount that you are qualified to have that savings for.
I really liked that you could call all of your clients.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's another reason to reach out and touch them. But when you do that, we're going to talk a little bit on this a little bit later, but what's your script, right? Mm-hmm. It's probably something like, hey, it's Austin. I just wanted to let you know that I'm calling all of my clients and letting them know that that this is Chicago's tax appeal year, and it's the triennial year. I just wanted to let you know that if you're a homeowner and if you aren't appealing, I can definitely help you with that. I'm just calling to make sure that all my clients know and just to help you. Do you still own the property over there? And you start the conversation from there. Right?
Yeah. And then you're on the website and just look up their address and go, oh, but I do that before I call them. I already see, oh, you're overpaying by a lot. Well, you call them up. I just wanted to let you know you're overpaying by $5,000.
Sometimes you don't know the address that they live in, or it's an old lead. Say, hey, we talked way back. I just wanted to touch base. I'm just calling to help, right? We teach our agents not to be agents, because can I sign up? Because no, it's you're helpful, and at the end of the day, then they will call you because you were the person that was helpful on real estate, and you have to stay in front of them. And this is another perfect reason to stay in front of them. A mass message is another way to easily do it. Through KV Core, you can mass text everybody. Hey, this is us, Pearson from Pearson Realty Group. Just reaching out to all my clients because this is the Chicago year for triennial reassessment, and they're going through the Jefferson Township and other townships soon after. If you wanted to chat about what your taxes are, whether or not you're interested in selling your home, I'm happy to help connect you with some of the professionals that we deal with that help our other clients on a regular basis, right? People go, oh, he's not trying to sell me something, right? It's just, I'm here to give you some information. People are much, much, much more receptive to that. If somebody has to stop their daily lives, like when you're watching, what do they say about watching TV ads these days? Is if you have to stop the TV show that you love, and as superhero that you love stops fighting crime to have an advertisement about Coca-Cola, right? People are much less receptive to that than they are to your favorite superhero in the middle of, fighting crime is drinking the Coca-Cola, right? And so that kind of similar mindset, not exactly the same, but similar mindset of, talking to them about this tax appeal process is making sure that they know, because taxes are a large piece of the equation of analyzing and thinking about and value of real estate, which we are there.
On their end, all they gotta do is say, yes, pay the fee, and then, they go to work.
Yep. Yeah, you can do it yourself, or call and go. I can, if you have any questions, I'll pretty much 2 minutes walk you through how to do it, or I could do it now. I could show you how you go on the website and look for your clients. You can look at your, just any address. You go to tax bill appeal. It's this easy to look up any address. You just say get started here, and you go into, which one is it into? Logout. Go into here.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. It doesn't. No. It goes tax bill appeals. For some reason, I can't get in there.
There we go.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, so you go get started, and you can put in any address here. So you go into, go into residential, you click on there, and then you go down, and then you can search by PIN or address. So for example, you search by address, you got to do, like say, 4242, and you don't have to put the direction or anything. Then you put the street name here, TRIPP. And then you can find out all your previous clients through your MLS, through your previous sales. So you can just go in here and go, oh, let me look at this client here in Chicago. And then you go into Chicago. And enter, and then it shows that. And then you go out into the search bar, and then it shows up so you can look at every one of your clients. And then look, for example, this. You look at their exemption, so you know they have homeowner. And in here they're overpaying by $4,500 a year. So their total savings, because it's a triennial right now, it's every 3 years. So once they appeal, be good for 3 years, their total savings will be $13,000. So if you call your client and go, a previous client go, I can save you $13,000, are you interested? For $500, they'd be like, okay. And then a lot of times you get a lot of pain. They're like, I'm sick and tired of paying these taxes. And I'm like, how many people live in your home? They're like, oh, my kids moved out. I'm only here by myself. I'm like, why are you paying these taxes? Why don't you just downsize? And that's when you can get a sale and then get a condo purchase at the same time. So use this as a way to start the conversation, is appeals. It's the tax. And then otherwise, you're not going to call me, hey, what's your situation? You talk to them about this, and then you find they're paying, and then try to sell them, upsell them, or list a property, sell them, anything. But the tax bill appeals gets you in the door, or gets you talking, starting the conversation. And then actually to do the, if you want to do the sale, you go at the bottom, proceed to billing form, and then it shows the price, select single payment, and it adds everything up, so $499.99, and then you can skip this part here. You don't have to set up an account, and it goes right to here, billing details. Name on the card, you fill this out, the phone number, the email, and then here, promo sales code, you put your name and Pearson Realty, and we'll know that it's from you. And then you fill out the visa, everything, the client's name for electronic signature. You click these 2 boxes, and pretty much everything is done. And then once you do it, you press complete order, and their appeal is in process already, that easy. So it takes about a minute or 2, or else you could just say, hey, one of my, somebody from tax appeal office will call you, and we could call on your behalf.
Okay, and then after that process is done, you guys call them the next steps if there are any next steps?
They have to electronically sign that whole document, their appeal, and that's it. And then everything's done, and they get emailed, well, with the process of the assessor, board of review, beat that.
That's obviously, that's not guaranteed, correct?
That's not guaranteed. We keep on appealing. If they get denied, we appeal again, appeal, and we keep on appealing. And it's a money-back guarantee. If they, for some reason, we do 3 appeals, they don't get they say we got denied, they can ask for their money back. We'll give them their money back.
Yeah, if the client is not sure, you can create a promo report with all information, and once they will insert phone number and the email address, the system will start sending them reminders that it's time to appeal. You still have 5 days or 10 days. There is 10 messages per year set to remind them that they can appeal. And since it was created from Rick's account, but you put the info in the promo code, then the people will get the information that this is from you. So it's like a little Salesforce application inside of our system to keep the touching clients and the reminder.
Yeah, so it's a good way to, as a realtor, to know this information. Other realtors don't, so it gives you a much added benefit to your clients. And I use this on every client I have. I'm like, let me check your taxes. Let me just make sure everything's